Hey guys, let's talk today about the different types of credit scores. Okay, so we know that the credit bureaus they use an algorithm, to determine credit scores. I mean, they're no different from the TikTok you're on right now, or YouTube, or Facebook. Yep, they all use algorithms, you know, to calculate things. So the credit bureaus, they're no different, and no one really knows, their algorithm. That no one really knows it. That's their secret sauce. Nobody's really privy to it but them. So, but most folks have kind of figured it out, kind of gotten a little guess, possibly, of what they do, you know. And this is the best guess scenario. But there's actually two ways that are being scored by credit is scored by. First is FICO, right? But then the credit bureaus themselves, they came together like, well, let's do our own thing, and that's where you got Vantage. Okay, so in all and also in all actuality, there's like 10 FICOs, different FICOs, but most people are still just using probably 2 or 3 FICO, but there's up to FICO 10, and how credit scores are calculated, uh, usually between the 300 and the 850 range. Of course, 850 being at the top, and you know even an 800 credit score is worth $100,000. Having an 800 credit score, you think about that. Think about that one. You know, having an 800 credit score is worth $100,000. Speaking of that, if you looking to try to want to improve, want to get to that 800, you know, drop 800 in the comments. Let's talk about what they use to calculate, our credit scores. FICO, 35% of it, 35% is payment history. 30% is amounts owed. 15% length of credit history. 10% new credit, and then the other 10% is credit types. Your credit mix. What do you have? And with FICO, it says always good to have a credit mix, not just everything the same. Not just cards, credit cards, but cards, loans. You know, so. But then let's go to advantage. I'm saying advantage, but it's vantage. Okay. Now 40% is payment history. 21% is ages of the types of credit, whereas 20% is credit utilization. 11% is your balances. 5% recent credit, and 3% is available credit. Right? So these are the different ways that our credit scores are being calculated, and no one knows why all of a sudden your credit score shoots up and it comes down. We, like I said, best guess. We can tweak it here, tweak it there. Some things happen, but really, in all actuality, no one knows how the algorithms really work, but the credit bureaus. So, like I said earlier, and like I always say, credit is the beginning of wealth. If you don't have good credit, what I'm saying, then you're just burning money. You might as well just take all your money and light a match to it. Because basically that's what you're doing. Because basically what you're doing, you are actually, you know, paying for things 4, 5, 6 times. For what? For having poor credit. Instead of fixing your credit, so now you getting low interest rates instead of having an interest rate of 35 and 40. That's crazy. Stop throwing money away. Fix your credit. Get your credit fixed so you can get lower interest rates. You pay less for products, you know, and it's just not, loan companies and credit card companies that's checking your credit. Your bosses are checking credits now. They're hiring people on credit, and and then because of what they're looking at, especially if it's a government job or something like that, that could uh, what they're looking at is that if you got poor credit history, you know, you ain't paying your debts. They're not sure what kind of person you are. It's saying that you're not trustworthy. It's saying that you might steal or things like that. So you don't want that type of thing following you. So basically, you want to get your credit together. Get it together. And like I said, you're trying to get it together. Even I have a free book. I'll be more than willing to give it to you because this is April. This is you know Financial Literacy Month. I got a book called the Ultimate Guide to improving your credit score. You like the book? Say book. I'll send you the link to the free book so you can help fix your credit score there. I mean, anything that I can do to help. But listen, it's a little work, yes, but fix it. Fix your credit so that way you can be living at a better level. You could be definitely living at a way better level when you have a good credit score. Guys, I hope you're doing well, and I'll be talking to you soon.